Okay, howdy folks. Just checking on our next lesson about disasters in the environment. Okay, you've got your headings here. We're looking at protecting the environment. You got today's date and objective. Okay, so this will take us to the end of this topic, disasters in the environment. All right. So just again, a couple of notes to be made. There's no assignment with today's lesson. Okay, quite a bit of writing, and again, we may look at a worksheet, but I'm not sure if we need to. First things first, 3 key words. Okay, make a list of your key words. Conservation, national park, and sustainability. All pretty similar terms here. Conservation is the protection and management of something to ensure its quality is not decreased or harmed in any way. Management is being the key word here. If you're to describe conservation, okay, you have to use that word management. So for example, conserving the oceans helps ensure it stays in good condition. Okay, so if you conserve something, it doesn't mean that you never use it. You still use that thing, but you also ensure that its quality remains high. So to conserve a forest, yes, you may still cut down some of the forest, okay, because you need it for fuel or to build things, but you manage the forest in such a way that it remains in good condition. A national park, then, this is an area of natural land which is protected by law. Okay, so this will vary between different countries. Each country will have its own set of laws. No development, buildings or damage is allowed to take place in these areas. So if you have a national park, you're not allowed to go off building roads or buildings or towns or houses, and you're not allowed to hunt animals or anything in that area. Okay, it's protected. Sustainability, then, this is a tricky concept. Sustainability. This is a method of using resources and things we need to survive and live right now in a way that allows future generations to use the same resources and have the same quality of life. So again, to be sustainable means having your car, having your home, having all the foods you want, and so on. But only if it means that future generations, so our kids and our kids' kids, can also have access to a good quality of life and the same level of resources. Alright, so there are 3 key words. Alright, moving on then, more notes. Not a very long lesson today, but just a lot of notes to be written down. So why, little subheading, why do we need to protect the environment? Why should we? So first things first, our environment contains all the valuable things we need and use to live. Okay, we get all our food from the environment, energy resources, oil, gas, hydroelectricity, wind energy, solar energy, all those things. Valuable metals, okay, things for your phone, metals for all the things we use, cars, any machines, okay, valuable metals. Then secondly, the environment is where we live and travel around. It is important and simple common sense to maintain it as a nice place to live and for future people to live. So again, the environment is ours. We live in it. Okay, if we want to go down and keep the beaches nice so we can enjoy them, that's our responsibility. All plants and animals are part of the world we live in, and as the dominant species, we have a responsibility to ensure all other species are protected and safe. Okay, so because we're the dominant, most advanced species on the planet, we should take the lead on protecting it and making sure everything is okay. So why does wildlife need protecting? Why so? Okay, there's 2 more key words in here. We're going to look at the word endangered and extinct. Alright? So, one of the big problems for animals and plants is that there are less and less of them around. When there are few numbers left of a certain species, we say it is now endangered. So unfortunately, through human activity and all that land and water pollution we studied, okay, that's killed a lot of different species. So when we get down to a certain species and there's only a few of them left, so let's say there's only a few types of elephant or only a certain amount of elephants left, they become endangered and need to be protected. When there are more of that species left, when there are none of that species left, it is then said to be extinct. And again, this is where, on the last slide, why do we need to protect the environment? It's our responsibility. If we're causing so much damage, like we saw with the land and water pollution, it's our responsibility to try and protect the place as well. One example is elephants in Africa, which are hunted and killed for the ivory in their tusks. Alright, so the white tusks of elephants are made of a substance called ivory, which is very valuable, and elephants are killed and then it's traded around the world to make money. Finally then, already, okay, who is protecting the environment? So who's looking after the environment? Is it down to you and me? So again, little subheading and more notes, unfortunately. There are a number of different agencies set up to protect the environment. Each country usually has a group within the government who is in charge of looking after that country's environment. So again, every country will set up a different group to look after the environment, to manage and conserve the environment. Alright? In addition to this, there are many international groups with different focuses. Some examples are below. So there's many groups spread across the world where countries work together almost. So the WWF is the World Wildlife Fund. Alright, so it's a kind of a charity, a group protecting the environment around the world. So it has no borders. It works all over the world, in the oceans, on land, everything. Then we got CITES. Okay, it stands for Convention on the Trade of Endangered Species. CT. Where's the I again? Convention on the Trade of Endangered Species. Okay, this protects endangered animals. So what it does, it stops that trade. We just spoke about briefly the elephants being traded for their tusks. Okay. This site tries to stop any illegal trade of animal parts and so on going on to protect those endangered species. Alright? And then Greenpeace is an organisation for healthier oceans and forests and food production. So Greenpeace is a very famous one. It was set up in the Netherlands a long time ago back now. And they campaign and raise money and awareness for the oceans and for forests and so on. Right? They often stage protests as well, where people are trying to cut down forests. They'll get in the way and stop them. Alright? So there are your three main people trying to protect the environment. Now, in terms of something that you can do or we can all do, alright, here at Queen's College we're trying to establish a recycling program which will reduce the amount of waste we produce. Alright? On the next slide, I'm going to briefly go through some activities you can do to try and help the environment. This is not mandatory, okay? If you want, over the summer, if you're stuck at home, you can try and start doing some of these little things, okay? It's all about trying to reduce our individual waste, okay? And then if you decide to take part, if you do any of this, make sure to take some photos, as we'll be showing presentations of those who've tried going green over the holidays, okay? So, again, I have to imply this is optional. You don't have to do anything, but again, these are just simple little ways of trying to reduce waste or reduce consumption in your home. So one thing you can do is try collecting and keeping all empty cans and tins, okay, to be recycled once we return to school. We're setting up a recycling scheme where cans and tins are collected every couple of weeks or every week and sent off to be recycled, okay? So if you want to start doing that over the summer now, you can. The cans and tins need to be cleaned and they can be kept in bags or a trash can outside your house, okay? That's one thing you could do. Alternatively, or otherwise, you could try separating the organic waste from your garbage. Alright, establish a food bin in which bits of meat, fish, vegetables, eggshells and so on can be put in, all natural things. This can be then thrown away in an area of your garden, and it will decompose or break down very quickly over the few days. You don't want to leave it right by your house because it might smell a little bit, but if you have a garden or something like that, or you're living near a park, you can go and leave that stuff there, so it will rot away and it'll reduce how much garbage your house produces. Then a really adventurous one, if you're feeling very adventurous, you can try starting your own small herb garden or vegetable patch in your garden. Alright, there are lots of videos and websites which can help you with this. So a herb garden is very easy. You can just get 1 or 2 big pots, okay, and you can either buy the herbs in places like Fresh Market or Super Value, or you can buy some seeds in a garden centre and start growing your own herbs like basil and mint and cilantro and arugula and stuff like that, okay? Or else you could try and do your own little garden. If you've got a little vegetable patch at the back, again, watch some videos. If you want to contact me about some help, I can share some advice about how to grow some carrots, potatoes, onions, all sorts of stuff like that. Okay, again, just some optional little tasks over the summer holidays if you want to try. No assignment with today's work. Alright, make sure you get all your notes done. Good work.